Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Austin Wang. Welcome to Let's Cap. This is the last show. I'll be filling in for Ronald Cabang. Y'all stuck with me one more day. A little bit about myself. I'm one of the co-founders of the Money Baller website, along with Ronald and our other partner, Zach Katagiri. Um, Zach's works behind the scenes and does a lot, most of the development on this website, and he's the mastermind behind all this. Without Zach, there would be no Money Baller. But anyhow, just really proud of the progress we made on this website. I really love how the site has come together and everyone's feedback and support. I use the site every single day, day and night to do my handicapping. It's meant to be a one-stop shop for all of our stats, trends, advanced statistics to put in one place to streamline my day-to-day process, scale my day-to-day process. Because as you know, for a sport like baseball, MLB, you got 15 games during a day. Really need to find ways to make that process more efficient, and the Money Baller does that for us. Anyhow, if you haven't already signed up with us, we're at themoneyballer.com. We're offering free basic access up until August the 1st. And if you are already a member, if that's great. If you're not a member, sign up before August 1st, and you'll be grandfathered into a special discounted rate to upgrade once the August 1st date hits. So enough talk about the website. Let's take a look at the website and get a live look on how we utilize it on a day-to-day basis. So we've got one WNBA game today and two tomorrow on the 4th of July. So I'll give some quick thoughts on all three of those games before Munoff joins us to live cap the MLB. Yesterday's picks in the WNBA went well. The Sky first half and full game hit. The Mystics did not quite get there, even though they in the first half, even though they won the full game outright. So that was disappointing. The MLB picks were dog shit. Not gonna sugarcoat that. Even though Dallas Keuchel was on the mound, the Rockies and the Brewers didn't get a chance to hit that over for us. Also, the parlay I gave out with Cleveland and the Yankees first five. Yankees weren't able to continue on their strong first five home favorite trend. And then finally, the Royals did not get there in the first five. So hoping for a bounce back there. So diving right into the WNBA games. Give me a second here. All right. So the first game, well, the only game today is the Phoenix Mercury visiting the Dallas Wings, and we have not one, not two, but three baller systems active to back the Mercury. So one of them is fading a bad team, which is the Wings returning home off a 2+ game road trip after losing their last game. That spot has been profitable, and as you can see here, the recent Wings schedule, they've played 6 of their last 7 games on the road. So fatigue will certainly be a factor here for the Wings that are road weary and returning home, which a lot of times we see those teams struggle in that spot. The Wings have lost 13 of their last 14, and ironically, their only win was against the Minnesota Lynx after a letdown spot for them after they won the Commissioner's Cup final championship game against the Liberty. One interesting thing here is I wanted to show you, since we have Give Me the Dog open, is Team Wings. And something cool about Give Me the Dog is that they offer offensive efficiency, defensive efficiency, and pace as a few of those parameters. So a lot of times I like to look at those parameters and query off those parameters. So for instance, I'm going to look at a team, Wings against a team with the offensive rating. So this is their opponent's average offensive rating, and I want to compared against the season-long league average, and you'll see that the Wings are 1-9 straight up and against the spread against teams with a below than average offensive rating. So another look there to fade the Wings. A few of these other systems to back the Mercury, backing the team with more rest and less road games in the previous 5 games. We kind of touched on that already. And then fading a team off a 2-game losing streak when the previous game was at home. I think this text is off a little bit when the current team's previous game was at home, not the opponent's. So we'll need to fix that text a little bit. But anyhow, all signs point to the Mercury here, but one big question mark is Brittany Griner's status. She is listed as questionable due to personal reasons, and a lot of people are speculating that her first baby is due anytime now, so that could be a reason why she sits. But I wanted to point this out. Something I like to look at is if you look at the on-off stats here at Basketball Reference, you can see that the on-off stats show that the Mercury offensive rating is 112.2 when she's on the court, 96.2 when she's off the court. So huge decline in their offensive output when she's off the court. So definitely something to consider. I think the smart thing to do here is to wait for the injury report to come out. Have that underdog WNBA, follow that WNBA site, have those notifications on, and if you see that Griner's out, pounce on the Mercury is my suggestion for this game. Moving on to the Sun and the Lynx for tomorrow. So we've got some offsetting baller systems here. The Sun, they've got a baller system showing that a road team who won their previous head-to-head matchup at home. And whereas the Lynx, they've got a baller system active on them, stating back the home team in a matchup between two elite teams. So just kind of peeking under the kimono here, just to let y'all know, like, what are these baller systems and what is the basis for them, and just showing you that we're not pulling something out of our ass here. We have a database of 50 to 60 systems that we have searching for active systems, and this one in particular that I showed on the Sun, dating back to 2018, has a large sample size, hitting at a 57.7% rate. This season, just 2 and 3, but this is active on the Sun. And so, yeah, the whole theory is that, a road team, they won their last matchup at home. It's sort of an anti-revenge spot. You would think that there would be a bounce back spot for the other team, but in these instances, those teams that won their last matchup continue to roll in these situations. The other one is two elite teams backing a home team when two elite teams face off. So if you can see here, the syntax is both these teams have a win percentage of greater than 60%. We're looking at the home team. I put a filter here to go greater than the 10th game, just to filter out some of the results. You can see this is hitting at a 61.7% rate since 2017. It's gone 3-1. 3-1 ATS this season, and really, yeah, just backing these when these great teams face off, back the home team here. So I'm in favor of the Lynx. Just looking at their strong performance, overperforming this whole season, 14-6 against the spread, 7-3 against the spread at home. I like them. My model has it -3, so the spread. Last time I checked, it's -2, so I would back the Lynx here. Another look I would aim towards is the first half under. If you take a look at the over/under table here, you'll see that the Sun 14-5 to the first half under overall. You'll see some of these stats here for the Lynx favoring the first half under. 7-2-1 to the first half under at home. So another angle here is when these two elite teams face off. I like, especially midway through the season now, closer to the playoffs. Playoff seeding becomes a factor. These teams, elite teams, want to show their best against each other. So I usually like defense to ramp up in these games. So I think looking at that angle, looking at their splits, I think the first half under would be a good look as well. And let me just check the line real quick. So 78.5. So that is a look. So a look on the links, look on the first half under at 78.5. The last game I'll be talking about is the Mystics and the Aces. We've got two baller systems in favor of the Mystics here. Backing a digit dog off a win, backing team off a win as a dog, and a revenge spot where they lost by 15 or fewer points. So there's a revenge spot, some momentum from their win the last game. And Aces just really haven't looked themselves this season. Even with Chelsea Gray back, she's been struggling in her first few games back. And I don't know what it is about the Mystics. They just with their personnel just continue to exceed expectations. Look at their stats here: 13-5-2 first against the spread in the first half, 7-2-1 against the spread in the first half on the road. Check out the Aces; they're only 3-7 against the spread in the first half, whereas last couple years, I feel like that was an automatic bet here. Looking at the line, first half plus 10.5 for the Mystics. I don't know. I feel like that's just inviting me in for a trap, but I got to go the Mystics here, given their track record. I don't want to take the full game. I've tended to see these good teams just go on a roll in the fourth quarter and extend that lead and cover the spread. It's like they just flip that switch in that second half. I've seen it multiple times this season. So I'm going to go with the Mystics first half plus 10.5. Yeah, it's a little uncomfortable, but look, I think, being able to be a little uncomfortable leads to success in the sports betting world. So I see that Munoff has joined us, so I will go ahead and bring him in. Hey there.
What's going on, Austin? How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Ready for the 4th of July, ready to grill, ready to hopefully hit the pool and spend some time with the family. How about yourself?
Yeah, more the same. Hopefully we can, at least I can bounce back after MLB yesterday. It wasn't the greatest night. Just a real bad beat on the Braves. I had the first 5-run line. They were up 2-0 going into the top of the 5th, gives up back-to-back solo home runs, ties the game. Braves had an opportunity at the bottom of the 5th to take the lead. They had a man on second and third, one out, top of the lineup, due up, and they didn't get anything. So that hurt a little bit. I think some of the other ones that at least I talked about, didn't get to the window. So we'll wash it away. Hopefully we can bounce back here today on Wednesday and get some winners to the window.
No, likewise, I did. Yeah, I already mentioned to the rest of the show, the chat, that my picks were dog shit yesterday. I went 0-3, and saving grace was, we talked about that Astros Blue Jays game, and luckily you tucked me off of making that Astros bet, and I said if Vlad was out again, I would make that Astros bet, and he got ruled in, so that luckily prevented me from picking another loser there. But yeah, no, we're bouncing back today, so let's get right to it. We've got pulling up the website here. Are there any games that caught your eye from the get-go?
I mean, speaking of the Astros, I want to fade Kikuchi in some way here for the Blue Jays. I know he hasn't historically been very good against the Astros in his career, just 1-5 with a 6.27 ERA. I know he hasn't faced them since the 2022 season, but he's also not in great form right now for this Blue Jays team. Mm-hmm. He's allowed at least 4 earned runs over his last 3 games. The Blue Jays have lost all 3 of those games, 2 of the 3 by multiple runs. I know you get Astros best pitcher Blanco on the mound here tonight, so it's either Astros run line for me or Astros team total over in this game here. But I did want to back the Astros in some form or fashion tonight.
Yes, I like that. And the trend that we talked about the other day, even though it's not highlighted here, the Blue Jays are underdogs as of now. So they're home underdogs. So the trend, the 0-9, um, they're 0-9 against as home underdogs against right-handed starting pitchers. So that's definitely something to favor your bet as well. And yeah, Kikuchi definitely someone that we've grown accustomed to fading over the last few years and has been profitable, even though he started off really well.
He
But
did,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, he's kind of uh, coming back to expectations last couple games there. So yeah, you don't need to pull my arm to twist my arm to bet the Astros here. I already got my shirt on here, so
There
yeah,
you
I
go.
think I could. Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. I will go on to a game where I saw some very interesting trends and splits, and that would be the Boston Red Sox and the Miami Marlins.
Hopefully, we're on the same side here.
Right, right. Well, one, I think, the one of the most profitable stats of this year, fading Trevor Rogers,
Yeah.
3-13, straight up, 3-12-1 in the first five. But the one I wanted that really stood out to me was just looking at some of these first five over splits and trends. Brian Bayo in the first five, 11-2-1 to the first five over in his games. And actually, let me just pull it up so we can see it in.
Jesus, he's a perfect. Yeah, and I'm on the same train here, same thought. Full game over for me, but I think I want to say Bale's 8-0 to the first five over, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Yeah, I think we may
On the
have
road, at
some.
least. I'm sorry.
Oh, oops, season. Botched that. Okay. 11-2-1, first five over. Okay.
And then if you want to do like just on the road in particular, he's 8-0.
Shazam.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so that was one angle that I had. But looking at Red Sox in general against left-handed pitchers in the first five, 18-4-1 to the first five over. So
Yeah.
team Red Sox. Yeah, 18-4-1 to the over, as well as Marlins as home underdogs. They've been leaning to the over as well. And I had a gentleman named Aaron reach out to the because I posted that as a trend yesterday on the Moneyballer Twitter account, and yeah, he asked, "Is like, is this the case of the Marlins giving up a lot of runs, or are they contributing as well?" But in these cases, they're also like their offense is outputting, having a higher output than they normally have. So I wanted to just show that real quick. Marlins as home dogs against right-handed starting pitchers, and they're averaging 4.6 runs per
Hmm.
game as opposed to their 3.5 runs season long average. So to me, Rogers, Bayo both uh, have the ability to give up a lot of runs here. Bayo's had some good stuff, but just like any other rookie, can have a tendency to have poor games here. And I think this is a case where I'm going to be following these splits and trends, and we'll be going on the first half over, first five over 4.5 runs for the Marlins and the Red Sox.
Love it. Yeah. I'm on the full game over.
Full
So
game over.
hopefully,
Okay.
yeah, hopefully we get 9 runs by the end of the fifth. We can both cash.
Okay. There you go. Awesome. Do you have another game you want to look at? And wanted to quick shout out to the chat. If there's any particular games you wanted us to bring up and look at, please feel free to enter that in as well.
As much as it pains me, Austin, I kind of have to go back to the Braves, either full game run line or first five run line. It's just how fantastic Chris Sale has been thus far this season, just generally overall. I think he had one bad start this season, which was against I want to say it was the A's that he had some trouble with of all teams, but
Hmm.
especially at home though, he's been lights out for this Braves pitching rotation.
Yeah, look at that, 8-0,
Yeah.
first five. um, as a home favorite, when the Braves are a home favorite, 12-3 overall. Looking at some of his stats, my goodness, 2.79, all dark green down the line here, 2.32 FIP. Yeah, definitely agree with you here. Taking a look up, if you scroll up, we've got a strong matchup rating on the Braves. They've got a strong 5, which compares 3 components: starting pitcher, which max score there, compares the bullpens of the two teams, and the batting as well to come up with a 5, which is in line with the market price here, with our estimation of what the line should be. But you're looking at the first 5, right? First 5 run line,
First 5 run sorry, full game run line
full
minus
game
one
run
and a
line.
half.
Okay,
Yeah. But I couldn't talk you
awesome.
over the first 5 either. I mean, you just take a look on Give Me the Dog when he's at home as a home favorite. They're averaging 5.12 runs. And I'm pretty sure there was a game in there where they just absolutely went bonkers in the first 5. That may be inflating a little bit, but I think the more key
Mhm.
thing for me there is he's only given up 1.62 in that first 5, and then just
Yeah,
2.62 just generally overall.
yeah. Look at that. That's a huge margin right there. Yeah, I love it. I love
But
it.
take a look at that year fee too. If you're a year fee better, 7-1.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so maybe the Braves are giving him a lot of run support early.
I know Verlander needs that same love.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Let's yeah, I was thinking first 5, and yes, I think a full game run line will be something I add to the card as well. Any other thoughts on this game?
No, that's all I had. It was just really backing Chris Sale. Then I think Jordan Hicks, he's not a guy that goes a whole lot of innings. It seems like his ceiling is about 5 innings. But he's given it up early. So hopefully the Braves are able to get to him early, maybe get us a couple runs early, and Chris Sale really limits the bats of the Giants. But that was a bet that really stuck out to me.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, I had another game on my list,
Yeah.
and that is the Orioles at the Mariners. And another just lights out trend that we have this season is Logan Gilbert in the first
Hmm.
5.
Yeah.
15-2 to the first 5 under
Wow.
in his starts. Well, obviously Gilbert's uh, been dealing, and the Mariners struggle to give him any run support. We talked about this game yesterday,
Yeah.
Mariners and the Orioles going potentially going under there, and he's only 2 runs scored in the whole game. So I think I'm looking towards the first 5 under here, backing Logan Gilbert in this amazing trend. Um, I don't see the Orioles scoring many, even though they have a strong offense. I think Gilbert can keep them uh, contained, and I don't have confidence in the Mariners to put runs on the board. So I saw a juiced 4 out there. So I played the first 5 under on the Mariners and the Orioles under 4. Juiced at, it was minus 120 when I played it earlier today. So that would be my play there. Any thoughts or input on that look?
Couldn't talk you off. I mean, you just take a look at Gilbert's numbers at home in the first 5, 5-1-2 straight up, but more so towards the over under. Perfect 8-0 to the under in the first 5 innings
Yeah.
for Logan Gilbert. So, and they're not even, I mean, the combined look, opposition's only given up 0.75 and the team's only scoring 1.12. And you and I discussed this yesterday, right? Like we talked about the trend for the Mariners in game ones of a series where they're 13-0.
Mhm.
Um, but it was just a fact that they just aren't able to score a lot of runs. And last night was a classic example of that where they weren't able to score any runs, and the Orioles got a 2-0 victory. So I think you probably see more of that here tonight, especially with Logan Gilbert on the mound here. So uh,
Right.
under, or maybe if you want to take a Mariners first 5 on the money line, I couldn't talk you off of that either.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, I pulled up the splits with Logan Gilbert as the starter this season's, and then as the Mariners as home favorites. And you can see here just the cumulative score in the first 5 innings. I mean, doesn't even hit 2 runs.
Yeah.
So that is strongly supports the first five under. And yes, agreed with the first five money line as well. Cool. Any other games that caught your eye?
Those were the main ones that caught my eye. I think you covered most of them there. Let me just take another quick peek here.
You know, our matchup ratings really favor the Angels
Okay.
today. You know, they're, let me see what the current line is. I mean, yeah, they're minus 113. So very short favorites, pretty much at a pick 'em right now,
Mhm.
visiting the Athletics. I feel like the Angels have been playing pretty well, a little better lately. Although maybe I take that back.
I feel like these two teams just played like last weekend, if I'm not mistaken. It felt like it.
So yeah, that's always something that catches my eyes when we have a matchup rating that high and comparing it to our the current market price. So yeah, the Mariners, I mean, I'm sorry, the Angels have done pretty well in recent games. They've won 6 of the last 8, dropped their last 2, but was on a nice run before that, facing the lowly Athletics. And granted, I don't know too much about these starting pitchers, but Davis Daniel had a nice outing. Uh,
Yeah, I think it was against the Tigers.
yeah,
8 innings.
8 strikeouts.
Yeah.
Man, my goodness, that's a hell of a way to start. Yes, and then Estes for the Athletics, not struggling over the last couple games. But anyhow, that's just something that stood out from a matchup rating. I'll have to do a little more digging, but when I see something with a huge matchup rating like that, have to kind of take a deeper dive.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it makes me nervous when you have one pitcher that's only had one start.
Yeah,
Um, and he's also coming off a game where he went 8 innings in that game,
right,
and it wasn't against the greatest offense in the Tigers either. For him, but
right.
Joey Estes doesn't, get me excited either for the A's. So
Yeah,
there's a reason the Angels are favored here.
right, right. Okay, yeah, that's well, those are all the games that I liked and had circled. Are there any other games you want to talk about, or if there's anybody from the chat that had some ideas or suggestions?
Let me see if there's anything else. I know we went through the Astros, talked about the Mariners game, the Braves game we talked about. I really kind of want to get there with the Reds, Austin, with Carlos Rodon on the mound. He's just been absolutely brutal for this Yankees team over the past couple of
Hmm.
starts. Andrew Abbott's in really good form right now as well. It just makes me nervous that the Yankees already did lose game one. But it's just maybe if I don't want to play the money line for the Reds, maybe look at their team total to go over.
Right.
It's just really fading Carlos Rodon.
Yeah, I mean, one of the most interesting trends I saw was that the Yankees have lost 7 straight. Well, maybe not 7 straight. Let me find 7 straight in the first 5, I believe, was the trend. Okay, so they know they won their last game, and let's do date. Yeah, so if you look at the first 5, they've lost 7 in a row in the first 5 against left-handed starting pitchers.
Wow.
So I don't know what the hell is the deal there, but they struggle big time against those left-handed starting pitchers. These games are also have gone 6-1 to the over. Yeah, just crazy. So I mean that certainly supports um, your suggestion on the red, or your thoughts on the Reds there. Yeah, if we want to go through some of these daily in-season trends, here's another page that we offer as part of the Money Baller website, under the Baller Access. So we already talked about some of these Red Sox, Marlins first five overs, which
Mhm.
backed my pick there. Here's some other interesting ones. The Nationals, just if you bet Nerfies there, 24-7 to the Nerfie
Wow.
as home underdogs. Here I mentioned here in the last 30 days, Yankees 0-7, first five money line, 1-6 against left-handed starting pitchers. Yeah, Astros 12-3 to the under when Blanco starts. 22-9. Blue Jays 22-9 to the Nerfie as home favorites. Oh, here's the one. Yeah, we talked about this one earlier about Chris Sale, 8-0, first five money line,
Yeah.
7-1. So, yep. So here's another page that the Money Baller offers that offers you just a consolidated view of all the interesting, successful trends for the season. All right. Very good. Okay, the Tampa game. Stern Co. mentioned the Tampa game. We can talk about that as our final game before we wrap it up.
Tampa and Royals, right? Yeah.
All right, so we've got a 5 matchup rating in favor of the Rays. We've got a comment here on the Royals. They're on a long homestand, 7th consecutive game at home or more. So they're a bit more comfortable, well rested there. We've got. All right. You have any thoughts here, Munoff?
So I think when you look at the splits there for Ryan Pepiot, the starter of the Tampa Bay Rays, there, I want to say he pitches a whole heck of a lot better on the road.
Mm-hmm.
3-1 on the road, 3.46 ERA. You
Mm,
compare that to his home ERA of 4.93. And I want to say he's had some pretty good outings over his last at least two starts.
mm-hmm.
Not sure how much I'm going to take away against the Mariners because we just talked about how bad their offense has been. He only allowed one earned run in 5 1/3, which I believe was, yeah. And then he only lasted 3 1/3 in that game against the Pirates. Um, um, Michael Walker's in really good form right now. If you look at his numbers there, Austin, especially over his last 5 games. I don't know. It just makes me nervous that this could probably be the blow up game for Michael Walker.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, against the Rays, but he did face them earlier this season. I think it was back on May 26th. Did Michael Walker 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs in that span. So um, I stayed away from this one. If anything, I'd have a lean to the Royals, but I don't love it at all.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Yeah, I don't have a strong opinion on this game, but I wanted to ask you, like, what do you use to look up the stats that you do? Like when you were able to pull up Pepiot starts, like ERA on the road.
Uh,
What besides the money baller, of course, but
yeah, I love using StatMuse. It's I like
I
the
mean,
layout of it. It's really simple. Just type in the pitcher's name, and it'll give you overview over his regular season stats. And also they just upgraded the website as well, where they started including like on the page of how they've done in their career against that specific opponent. And then you just kind of you can click on it and it'll give you the game log, and then it shows you the last 5 games. But then again, it's pretty easy. Just go to splits. It has
okay.
home, road, day, night, by month, by division, by team,
Mhm.
left-handed, right-handed pitching. So it's a good tool to have in your arsenal, but obviously nothing greater than the money baller.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, no, appreciate your insight there, and just I think it's all, yeah, just education for the better,
Yeah,
making sure they have all the tools and the resources they need to succeed. And I think you being able to come up with those stats really easily and quickly. I mean, I think that's a great tool to have. So yes,
yeah.
I've had experience with StatMuse before. A big fan as well. So excellent. All right, let's go through our best bets for the WNBA. I had mentioned, I saw Justin mentioned Wings. He's back in the Wings. I would be on the Mercury as long as Griner is in. So that's what I had mentioned earlier. Um, I'm also backing the Lynx at -2 tomorrow, as well as the first half under at 78.5. And I'm also going the Mystics first half plus 10.5. And then Munoff, you want to share your summarized MLB picks for today?
Yeah, let's go with that. The Red Sox over. I think both you and I agree on that one. Whether you want to play first 5 over, or if you want to play the full game over.
Mm-hmm.
Over 8 is the number there with Bayo and Trevor Rogers. Talked about the Astros really just fading Kikuchi. So if you want to take a Astros team total over or full game run line, I like that as well for the Astros here tonight. And then how we talked about the Braves. I'll go back to it one more time for this week. Chris Sale run line. If you want to go first 5 or full game, I played full game -1.5. It's still around either even money or you could get some plus odds on there for the Braves. But I do think this is a good spot for Chris Sale to bounce back here for this Braves team. And I think they do get the victory by at least 2 runs here tonight. Really just also fading Jordan Hicks as well.
I'll support that, and I'll add in one pick. I had, yes, the one earlier with the Red Sox and the Marlins, first 5 over, but also adding in the Mariners and Orioles first 5 under at a juiced 4. So there we have it. Yeah, great show today, Munoff. I appreciate you coming
100%.
on. Yeah, I've had a lot of fun the last couple days. Hopefully, we did Ronald justice, and he's on his way back from Las Vegas, so he'll be back next week. Business as usual. Anything you wanted to plug or mention before we get off, Munoff?
No, it's been fun with you, Austin, man. Great. We were to do this for the couple of days here. Hopefully, we find some winners here for the Wednesday card. I know we have July 4th on Thursday. Baseball all day tomorrow as well. But still, long season to go here. But appreciate you having me on, man.
Yes, definitely. All right. Very good. Thank you, everyone. Happy 4th of July, and good luck, everyone. America.